Yo, 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 Larry Lots back in the spot again, man. What's good? Second video on the channel. Great day today, man. Today was a great day. So I got a couple of trades to recap with y'all, but it was a great day overall. That's all I'm gonna say. So, I'm gonna dive right into the chart. I can probably see I already got it up. I'm just looking at the aftermath of the market, man. FOMC came out, and FOMC actually came out here, 2 o'clock. And people probably thought like, oh wow, look at the market, look at the markets. News makes a big difference. I don't trade news because of the volatility, but the market's gonna do what it wants to do. I took some trades during the New York session in the morning, the AM. I won and I lost. And at the end of the loss, I said, look, man, I was wrong. I might have been right in the direction, but I was wrong on the timing. And the reason I was wrong was because I overlooked a crucial piece of information. And so that brings me into a point I want to bring up today. Price action is king, man. Technical analysis and all that stuff. Price action is king. I know y'all probably heard that before. But if price action is king, then context is the kingdom. Oh, and I heard something like that, and I just wanted it to sound good, sound cool. But like, nah, I'm serious though. Like, price action is king, but context is the kingdom, because like, where are you gonna place that price action? Like, you can have a good strategy, but if you have the wrong context, then you're not doing the right things. Like, one of the things I do is pattern trade with my continuation model. But if I take a continuation out of context, I'm going to lose. And that kind of takes me into what I want to talk about today. So I'll show you the loss first, and then I'll go back and show you the wins. So I'll show you the wins. I'm going to just see basically on the order I pull it up. Let's see. This was this morning. Yeah. This was this morning. So first, let me go ahead and pull up the accounts. Day win percentage, man. Great day, man. Full drawdown is recovered. I'm up 300 on the funded. So I got a long journey to go. Trust me, I got a long journey. I need 1,700 to get to the buffer, and then I need another 2,000 to feel comfortable even taking a payout. But I'm not in it for the short journey. I'm in it for the long run, and I'm not even worried about going live, because if they look at my history account, they're not even gonna do something crazy like that. Plus 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't even have 5 winning days. I need 30. So by the time I get to 20 winning days, I should at least have a payout. Assuming I don't keep going win loss. But that aside, I got the 40% consistency account, so I actually could withdraw any time I choose to, aside from even getting the buffer in 4K. But anyways, let me show you into the trades today. I just go backwards actually. End of the day, I found a trade right here. This is exactly what I was looking for. The reason that I thought this was going to be a good trade is that we got to look at the big picture of the market. All right. When price made a new low during the New York session, right? We had to look, where was the highest point that price came from before it started making that new low. I'll draw it out for you. Price came down from here to here. Price made a new low. Yes, it made a new low here, but I also made a new low here. So this is the low in question that needs to get broken before we consider it a new low, right? Everything in here, once price is retracing, this is all internal noise, right? But if we're looking at the bigger picture, this is the lowest low at this point in time. As you see, I have my zone here that we're looking for. Price retraced to here, okay, came down, noise. Price came to here. Did it break this low? No. Came down, noise, retrace. So this is what you can consider a range. But price finally broke down and made a new low. So where was the highest point that price went to before it made this new low? Here. And so that's why I have a yellow line here. If price pushes up and goes above this high, I have to think to myself like, yo, is price really selling still? But anywhere between this line and this low is valid for new sells. So boom, I took a loss. Price came all the way up. It's still above this line. Let's find the areas to see if it wants to retest. Price has two things. I said in the first video. Price has two things it wants to do when it makes a break of structure. I mean, no. It has two things when it retests a level. It can either break it and then retrace, or fail to break it and retrace even higher. In this case, price broke, it retraced, and then it wants to retest the low that it just made. Perfect, perfect textbook example. So that's what we have here. We have price come down, make it here. It made a new low, which is here, coming up. If price makes a new low, it wants to retrace. And then we're having this. This is the afternoon session. This is the morning session right here. So I'm going to dive into the charts. During the morning session, I had a day, man. I couldn't get the stream up. Then I just downloaded OBS and Streamlabs. So it was integrated. The plugin wasn't working. The stream key wasn't working. There was a bunch of stuff going on. So I was like, look, I can either get the stream up all day or I could trade. So I took a trade on my eval account because it was late because I was trying to get the stream up. Then I had another entry. I was like, I'm going to take it on the funded because I'm not going to miss two trades. And I still couldn't get the stream up. By the time I finally got it up, it was recording on YouTube, but it wasn't saying it was encoded correctly. So it actually was streaming, but it wasn't showing on the YouTube stream. I'm not exactly sure what's happening. But anyways, all that to say, I saw a trade. I saw the pattern, and I didn't have the context. I saw the pattern, and I didn't have the context. Price was down here. At this point, you see, even if we just look to the left on a 5 minute, at this point right here, price made a new low. I'll go ahead and draw some lines so we have some context now. I'll save it actually. Yeah, boom. At this point in the day, price is below this yellow zone. Price made a new low. I had no context. I just looked at the pattern and the price action. I said, oh, wait a minute. Price is giving me a continuation pattern. I want to see price continue. Where can price continue to? Structure to the left. I was so in my head like, oh, well, how far can it go? It got structure all the way to the left. So I took it. This is the structure. This is the continuation pattern. Boom. Two retracements or so. Price broke down, retested, and I expected to go lower. This is exactly what I was looking for. And it's exactly what it gave me. However, the context is not there. I'm going to save this. I'll go back to the hourly time frame. And we see that where is it going to go to? Where to the left is it going to continue to? Hopes and dreams. I'm hoping that it continues to the left, right? So I ended up not taking a one on this. It retraced here. I had my stop loss here. I'm supposed to use the whole 5 minute candle, but I got in my head like, I don't want to lose my too much profit on a day. You can see it's 117 entry there. So that's already like almost 240 risk if I had the perfect entry, which I didn't. I had entry like somewhere down here. So now I'm like, damn, do I want to risk 300? I don't want to risk 200. So I closed it at 200. I said, I'll come back in the afternoon. I'll take a real trade. Took that loss. Granted, price came down. Terrible R to R. Even if I wanted to do my 121.5, which is standard for the continuation, if I don't have a target, I would have made nowhere close. Full stop loss would have got hit. I'm content. I'm not gonna lie, I took a nap. Came back, saw that price went crazy. At first, I was gonna trade again because I have a rule. I don't trade 45 minutes after news. We had 2 o'clock news. That means I can't trade till 2:45. I got up. I said, wow, it's just about time to trade. I looked at Forex Factory, 2:30 news. So I just chilled around, hung out until it was like 3:15 p.m. Eastern time. I was supposed to trade, but I got to the chart a little late. Stream was perfectly fine this time. And that's going to take me to the afternoon trade. But here, I'll take you back into the first trade to show you the same exact pattern. The very first trade of the day that I wanted was this trade. Mind you, before this was made, price didn't retest the very lows. So what am I thinking? Price did this all overnight. Okay, appreciate it. It hit these higher zones, hit the 15-minute, gave the 5-minute continued reversal patterns, 15-minute reversal pattern. I'm expecting price to drop lower. It made 2 lows. It's retesting into this area right here. Go down to the 5-minute. Very first trade of the day. I'm like, oh, this is perfect. We have price come here, make a high, another high. So when price breaks down below here, oh, this is to retest it. All right, boom. Then I went down to the 1 minute. What time is it? Right here. I saw price right here after it already retested itself, has nowhere else to go. This right here is a big 5-minute candle. I look for price to make 1 retracement, 2 retracement. See this bullish candle closes above here. and then push down and close below, retest, and just drop. And you see it's 1 to 1.6, it's 1 to 1.5, somewhere around there, based on my entry. And then, yeah, I got in a trade. But because of where price was, I missed it. Price closed below that level. Price closed below that level right here. I'm talking about, I get specific. I use the highs and lows and the wicks of candles. If I'm looking for this pattern, this candle closed below the zone, and then this wick retested it. That's a perfect entry criteria right here. I didn't want to use the wicks of this because I find I'm more successful when I use the whole candle. So I didn't get in. Price was already dropping down here. 143. I'm like, wow, do I want to risk $280 plus? I don't. So I didn't get in. But what I did do was get in on my evaluation. Let me show you that here. I think it was this one. This is an account I traded last night. Actually, it's supposed to be in the last video, but I traded this last night. I ended up finding a trade. I ain't gonna lie. Took a sell. I got greedy. I was looking for a specific P&L. Hit take profit. But I'm like, nah, it's gonna go lower. It's gonna go lower. Then it didn't go lower. And I said, look, man, every tested this area 3 times, I'm getting out. I got out. Started going lower. I said, dang, shouldn't have got out. So I got back in. And then the market said, we got him. We freaking got him. And I'm telling you, price went crazy. You see this right here? This is me. Today's Wednesday. This is me. One of these prices here is me. Is this 660? Yo, bro, I took price to 660. And I tried to take it down to here to hit 620. Man, I got in at I couldn't even tell you. 658. 648. I got in at 648. And then price decided to go all the way back up to here. So yeah, what happened was once I saw I was losing, I gambled. I did gamble. I'm not gonna lie. I gambled. One, it was on eval. That's not good. But two, it was like a gamble. But when I say gamble, it's because I was looking for sells and I ended up taking buys. And I ended up taking buys even though I know I had just lost my profits. Like I was up still profit for the day, and I closed it negative once it started retracing. So I closed it once it was retracing, but I felt like, oh man, I just lost the profits I just worked so hard for. So the reason I took the buy was we had 2 change of characters, 2 structures broken. Is this even last night? I really can't even tell you. I don't even know. Getting out of hand. Tuesday, 11 p.m. Yeah, 2 change of characters. Took this, took a buy. Took the buy, took the structure somewhere either here or here. Once I made the money back, I stopped. That's another trade. And more the story for that. Oh. Boom. 1 trade for the day. I literally said yesterday in a video, when y'all see that I'm taking less trades, I do better. I learned. A $1,000 day was luck. And it wasn't luck because I was gambling on the trades I was taking. It was luck because I was so far outside of my rules. If I don't have a day like this day was just eagerness. I just got the accounts. My funded's locked. I'm like, yeah, okay, we gonna see. I'm locked. I'm gonna get another funded this week, right? And that's a lesson, man. When you try to rush the process, you're gonna get humbled. I said I'm getting another funded this week. This week's about to be over, and I still don't have it funded. So that's 2 weeks. I almost risked losing everything on the first day. But anyways, all that to say, 1,000 yesterday, 600. I didn't even trade this account no more. Like, I'm green now. I'm green. I focused on my funding because my main objective was getting my drawdown back. And this looks and feels good. I have 5 trades here. I added a contract at the end. I shouldn't be taking no more than 4 trades a day. So this day, you see, max loss, I'm outside my rules. And this day, I'm outside my rules. The 4th trade was the winner. I added a contract later to make it 5. But also when you manually close, that counts as an extra trade. So that's addition. I told you the first trade I manually closed. That counts as an additional trade. I'm pretty sure that counts as 2 trades because you entered and you closed it. Unless it hits take profit. So, anyways, on to the next trade. I know I'm rambling right now. On to the next trade. Got to the afternoon. Now we gotta find the first one of the day on this account, on the funded. First one of the day on the funded was in the morning though. So before we took the loss, we did take a win. Right after I missed the first entry on my eval, I waited. And I've been conflicted because I'm supposed to wait for a retest. But a lot of times when the market's so volatile, if it breaks below, it's valid. You just might have a worse entry, but it's still valid. The structure and the price, as long as you're within context, is valid. So, still decide, depending on how volatile the market is, because that's how I got my afternoon win. Price was not retested. But I do want to say, with the trade I lost in the afternoon, I had two other reasons where I could have potentially entered and waited. This in itself is a continuation pattern. Price right here wasn't filled in, and price right here just tapped. That's why I didn't go any higher, and it ended up selling way below. But with the entry down here, stop loss up here, take profit is too far. Another thing is, when price came here, we have two zones made without price being fully filled in. And this is the trade I showed you on my practice account last night. We got price 1, 2. When price retests the second zone, we could take profit to the first leg. So a trade like that would have looked like this. Price here, stop loss here, take profit at the first leg, boom. Granted, it went way lower, but if you want to be secure, you take the first leg. If you want to be risky, you take it to extreme lows. If you want to just YOLO, you, like this to me is unforeseeable. But price had already went down here, and price likes to retest itself. On the flip side, though, when you're making new highs, it's also unforeseeable, but you have a little bit more leeway because price wants to keep making new highs. But once you have structure to the left, you really got to be patient. Anyways, I'm rambling. So the first one I took was here. I took this one. Took this right here. I think I used the whole stop loss. Yep, I was like 250, and then I took price down to somewhere here. I can't really remember. Let's see. -2, -1. Oh, that might be another reason why I have that many trades today too. I had to add here. You see, I got in with the wrong. -2, -1, -1 +3. I'm not really sure what's happening, but let's go. 715. That's just about right here. I had a terrible entry, literally, absolutely just garbage. But anyways, the reason I did this is because the same continuation pattern. Price is making highs. I need 2 of them to be broken. So typically it'll be this one, but we made 3. 1, 2, 3. So if 2 of these get broken, 1, 2, this is where you can enter. So I entered here, wait for that retest, come down. This should be the entry right here. I got in on one of these 2 candles. And then I took price down to structure to the left somewhere. Don't really remember. And yeah, that was the first one of the day. Maybe price will tell us where I took it at. 613. Yeah, we did. We took it 613. I just took it. I learned from my mistake last night. I didn't want to get greedy. I took it down to 613. If I would have had a better entry, it would have been over a 1-to-1. I typically don't like to trade unless it's at least a 1-to-1. But I did get in here. Bad entry. But I learned from last night. I wasn't going to hold it past 1-to-1 and get greedy. I mean, hold it past my TP. Granted, it did hit, but we never know that. We don't have the context for that out of the moment. Now, I showed y'all why I lost. I'll show you this afternoon win. Coming to the afternoon, and then this will be it for me. Price is breaking down crazy, absolutely insane. So for me, I go by zones and I go by colors. I use orange for a 15-minute zone, purple for a 5-minute zone. If it hits a orange zone, I look for a 5-minute reversal pattern. I know context. That's this basically double top. standard double top that you learn if you just look up what is trading in the first place. Double tops, double bottoms. But I look for that off of a zone in line with the overall trend. Because most people might see this and say, whoa, well, this is buying. Yes, it is buying. But where's the context? The context is that it's selling. The context is that it's selling, and it's going to continue to sell. It just has to get to the area that it needs to sell. So, anyways, price is breaking down. We got two changing characters, 1 and 2. But I'm not looking for that when I'm looking for sales. I need something like more confirmed in my head. Like, I got a whole journal, like 30,000 plus words, I'm pretty sure, of notes, strategies, things that I personally came up with and observed myself. But I can't use them all at the same time. Right now, the only thing I'm looking for is a continuation and a reversal pattern. If I don't see those two things, and there's one more thing. Immediate retest after you get a wick on a lower time frame, blah, blah, blah. I'll get into another video. Right now, I need to keep it simple. Less is more. That was the theme of the first video. Less is more. So look, price is dropping down. Price is dropping down. I get on 315. I'm like, wow, that was the most perfect entry right here. But I missed it. And if I was really feeling it, I would have waited for the retest. Because I had a chance. So I got here at 320. I had a chance to get in. 320, I'm looking. I'm like, nah, it's too far. 165, 330 risk? Yeah, nah. It's going to come back. Then it was coming down here. I'm like, yeah, it's going to come back. Nah, it didn't come back. Then I'm like, maybe this will give me that confirmation. Nope, no pattern. So we get down to here. Price has this pattern. It's the same thing. It's a lot smaller. Doom. Goes up. And it breaks down, retest, goes here. So I'm like, except it didn't even actually retest here. But based on the last 2 trades that I missed, I'm like, yeah, I'm not missing this one. I'm leaving here with something. Denzel meme, if you don't know. So boom, here. I take it to the lows. I take it to 425. Except I used the whole 5-minute candle. With this most momentum, it's up to you. See all this space in between that gap? I didn't want to risk it. So I used the entire candle. And yeah, except I had a late entry. So now my risk is still even more than I want it to be. So I ended up taking it there. I added a position, which made my risk even worse. But ultimately, in the end, I guess I'll say I got lucky. I don't want to say lucky because I was supposed to hold this trade down to 1 to 1.5 for continuation pattern. That would have been past the new lows. But if you're already in a trade prior to new lows being broken, you can hold it. If you want to enter a trade after new lows are made, then it's too risky, in my opinion. Right here, we made the new lows. The next time we see a continuation pattern is, we don't even see one. But that just proves my point. It's too risky once you make the lows to try and force another trade. So, I got out here for the day. This was a win. The additional entry helped. That's why I have 5 trades for the day. I originally should just add it here, or if I would have had a chance to, because when I was doing something. At this point, I was actually doing something with my charts right here, because I would have just gotten it right here when I seen it. But at that point, I was like, you know, I'm willing to risk it, and then I would have my stop loss down here, and this entry was also going to be down here, so that way the risk is not too significant. But yeah, my additional entry was at 511. I tried to get it when price retraced to 541. Additional entry was at 511. That made my average entry like somewhere in here. So I was willing to risk 320 on that trade, and I ended up making like 400 something. And I got my drawdown back for the day. But yeah, y'all might be wondering, even if y'all not wondering, I'm gonna tell you anyways. My account names are named after the Bible. So I got a Bible verse that speaks to me, and a Bible verse that I just think is really good. Now, I haven't named these 2 yet, which I should, to be honest. I'm pretty sure that this was already named before it became funded. Oh, it's not even funded yet. I should name these 2. So I'm going to work on that. But with that being said, let me bust out the Bible. I want to read y'all Malachi 3:3, and I'm going to give y'all a little context as to why, like, yeah, I'll put a little for y'all so y'all can see. Here we go. All right, here we go. King James Version. That's cool. There we go. All right. says Malachi 3:3. Chapter 3, verse 3. He will sit as a refiner and purifier of silver. He will purify the Levites and refine them like gold and silver. And then the Lord will have men who will bring offerings in righteousness. This is significant because if you know the process of refining gold and refining silver, it's not an easy task. But there's also a parable in the story that talks, in the Bible that talks about how these ladies went to figure out the true meaning of being a refiner of silver. He talks about like when you have to go to the hottest flames. To purify silver, you have to go to the hottest flames. But in the end process, the silversmith will see himself in the silver, and that's how he knows it's done. And we are trying to become a reflection of God. That's how we should be operating. A reflection of God in his image. So we could be as righteous as we can be. And obviously we're not perfect, but that parable kind of correlates. Like he's gonna see himself in us. That's how he knows it's done. So when it seems like we're going through the worst things, through the worst times, you'll just know that he's working on us. He's working on us, just like that silversmith is working on that silver. But if you enjoyed today's video, man, make sure you like and subscribe. That's really crazy I'm saying that. Make sure you like and subscribe. Tune in. I'm going to be posting some more shorts. I'm going to be going live. I'm not off any other day for the rest of this week. So I'll let y'all know. But I'll try and put a schedule ahead of when I'm going to go live once I figure out my off day. And then I'll see you on the stream. Till then, see you.